Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. As I promised in the first part of this Dell saga, I will present you today the software I've managed to install and some games I found. I've even found more now, you'll see, and also the hardware which I've connected to the system. I've tried to use hardware which is more period correct to make sure that all the drivers are compatible and we will have no issues. So first thing first, always I install CPU-Z with any PC I build, and hardware info, well, 64 on Windows 10 and later, but for our purposes, hardware info, they have the 32-bit version, which is functional in Windows XP. After all, we're using Windows XP 32-bit, and this will read all the sensors in the system and show us information of the about the CPU load, memory load, fan spinning, GPU, everything we need to know. I'll leave this to run in the background because this records the maximum values and the current ones at the moment, and it will give us a good insight of if we're pushing the system too high or not, if it's overheating. Other tool which I use is the CPU-Z, obviously. This will allow me to correctly identify all the parts that we have installed. So as we've seen in the previous video, is the Intel Core 2 Duo 6700. This is rated for 2.66 GHz. It's not hyper-threaded, so it's just 2 core 2 threads. The main board, it's a Dell proprietary motherboard based around the Q35 chipset, which is absolutely not bad. It's quite a good one. Actually, it's among the latest chipsets for Core 2 architecture. Memory, we have 4 GB DDR2, 800 MHz in dual channel mode. And for the graphics card, it's the 8500 GT. This might be a very limiting factor, this graphics card, considering it's an entry-level card, a budget one back in the days. But for the moment, for our purposes, I just want to see if the system is functional and if we can use it. MSI Afterburner, it's a massive piece of technology which helps us to read everything we need to know while running games, including the CPU load, CPU temperature, GPU load, GPU temperature, memory load, VRAM load, FPS, basically everything we need to know to see if the system is bottlenecked in one way or another, if the CPU is bottlenecking or if the GPU is bottlenecking. So I've installed Afterburner as well. I found a version which works on Windows XP. I did not know I would be able to find one. I was counting basically on Fraps. Fraps was a tool which I've used many times in the past. This is very simple. It only shows the FPS in the corner and nothing else. Afterburner will be more complex, and we will see. First thing that I will run, I've installed here, is 3D Mark 2001 second edition and the 3D Mark 2003. I want to see how well the system performs around these two benchmarks, because then I'll manage to figure out what are the games from which years this system can play. So we're going to run 3D Mark 2001 at the moment, and while it runs, I'll just show you stuff which I have here on my desk. Yes, let's see, benchmark. I think I'll leave it to run at all default settings. because then I'll manage to compare. If I replace the CPU or the GPU with another one, I'll manage to compare oranges to oranges. So no changes, default settings. Right, so the first thing you see on camera is the monitor. I've switched to 4x3 format monitor. It's one of my oldest and trustworthy monitors. It's the Samsung ThinkMaster 930BF. It's a 19-inch resolution LCD and 1280 by 1024, and the most important thing, 75 Hz, which was quite useful at the times. It's better than 60 Hz anyway. It feels more snappier. Image is brilliant as well, so I can't fault it really. It's connected at the moment at the PC through a DVI connection, since the graphics card is only DVI and VGA. The monitor supports VGA as well, but DVI, it's a digital connection, it's better. For our input, I found something at our local car boot sales. It was new. It's a Genius keyboard from early 2000s. I used to love this brand in the early 2000s. Really reliable. Their stuff was lasting for ages. I also have the mouse, which came with it. This was sold together by the seller, but unfortunately I don't know how it's possible that this Dell doesn't have a PS2 connector. I'm absolutely shocked. We still have motherboards now in 2025 coming with PS2 connectors, but this Dell didn't have one. It only has USB connectors in the back. So for today's purposes, I am actually forced to use the mouse which came with the system. It's actually a quite crappy one, and it looks like it was abused and overused, but it's enough for today. I've been struggling to find actually a controller. I really enjoy playing some games with controllers, even on PC, like racing games or action games. They're much better with a controller. I've tried the Xbox One controller, it didn't work. I've also tried the Chinese controller, which has a USB dongle wireless. It requires no drivers, but that still didn't work. And I've managed to find this Logitech F310, and it works very well with apparently the Xbox 360 drivers. I'm a bit shocked, but it does work. It's recognized, all the buttons are working. And for the sound, we have the, like I've mentioned, it's the Amazon speakers, which we were talking about in the previous video. Really good sound. Right, so I've managed to find more games through the boxes. I found the Half-Life 2 and the Orange Box with the episodes 1 and 2, the expansions. What else did I find? It was the Street Racing Syndicate. I remember I didn't play this much because Need for Speed was overshadowing it, but it's quite good. Of course, Underground 1, I found it as well. We'll see how it runs. It should run, I think, very well. Prince of Persia series I've also managed to find, and I think that's it for now. Let's see how 3D Mark is doing. It's nearly done at the moment, I believe. It doesn't seem to stutter or anything, or display any artifacts, which would indicate that the GPU is solid. It still works after all this time. 100 FPS in here, I think absolutely decent. So looking at this benchmark actually tells us that the system can play games from the early Windows XP years without any issues, but I'm curious if it would play games from later years like 2005, 6 or 7. We'll see. It depends how 3D Mark 2003 runs on it. That was quite demanding on its own. 3D Mark suits, benchmarking suits were actually much more demanding than the games at those times. So if the 3D Mark would run well on your PC, it means that most of the games around that time would run even better. It was one way of gauging a system, and I remember being very, very popular in the past. All sites and magazines were publishing 3D Mark scores from all the CPUs and GPUs, and it was nice to be able to compare, to see how they fare against each other. I'll just let it run. And the results are on screen. 21.5K 3D Marks. I'm not sure if it shows show details, so we are able to see the FPS on each test. On game 1, high detail 76 FPS. Game 2, high detail 210, the one with the dragon. Game 3, lobby, the one matrix style, 208 FPS. And game 4, nature, which is more demanding, 98. I would say more than decent for 2001 second edition. We're gonna run 3D Mark 2003 next. This is gonna be a lot more demanding. And after it finishes, we're gonna check hardware info to see the temps on CPU and GPU. It loads quite fast. Test has completed, the results are on screen, and over 9,000 3D Marks in 3D Mark 2003. Let's see if we have any details in here. Yes, we do. So the first test, Wings of Fury, the one with the planes, 248 FPS. Second test, Battle of Proxicon, which is quite demanding, 68 FPS. Troll's Lair, 55 FPS, and Mother's Nature, 55 FPS. So we can already see that 3D Mark 2003, it's quite more demanding than 3D Mark 2001. The frame rate, it's about half than it was on the previous test. I'm curious if it will hold over 60 FPS for the games we will test today. So let's find out. Let's have a look at the temps. Yeah, I've been mentioning this before. So during our two tests of 3D Marks, the GPU went to 74 degrees. That was the highest temperature, which is not bad for a passive GPU, no fans. Also the case has just that one fan, which blows on the CPU, and that's it. It doesn't have case fans, it's just one fan inside, and the power supply has another one dragging the air out. Not bad for nearly a passive cool PC. Drive was 30 degrees, unchanged. Let's have a look at the processor. Processor went up to 62. No, that's the distance to. I'm just gonna hide that one because it's a bit confusing. So the highest temperature was 40 degrees, which it's quite interesting. It means the CPU was almost idling, not doing much in these tests, which indicates that we're a bit bottlenecked by the graphics card. Well, let's have a look and jump into games. I have the Afterburner and Riva tuner, which comes with the Afterburner. They're in the background. What game should we launch first? The first game we're gonna have a look at is, I've already mentioned it in the first video. I'm really missing this game. I remember having a lot of fun. It must be a placebo nostalgia, but I really remember really enjoying it. Total Overdose. This is a game from 2005 here. It says on the disc. There's no hardware requirements mentioned. Most games have it here on the back, but not on this one. So let's have a look at the manual. Maybe it's mentioned here. Setting up instructions, game controls. Okay. So it has here minimum specifications. Windows XP or 2000 only, so it will not work on Windows 98 or earlier. Pentium 1.5 or faster. I think our CPU is quite good for that. 256 megabytes of RAM. Okay, we're well over that. DirectX 9 compatible GPU. Okay, so we should be able to run it just fine. Let's see if we can start the yes. So top left, Afterburner. In Windows XP it looks a bit different than on Windows 10. You can't really customize the colors and the fonts and everything there, so I just gave them the color yellow for now. I think they're visible against darker backgrounds. Let's crank it up, the settings. Yeah, it's recognized. I'll put it on easy just for fun. Graphics quality, everything's to the max. Okay. Now, let's see how this game looks like. Okay. So as you notice, it really looks like GTA, to be honest. You can drive vehicles. It absolutely looks amazing to me. In fields and runs, it's very smooth. Okay, maybe the yellow font was not the most inspired. 66 degrees on the GPU, 50% load. Cores, okay. Core 1 on the CPU, it's 100% load. And Core 2, it's about 35, you see? So it looks like on this game, we are bottlenecked by the CPU. It's really interesting thing to see. We have... what FPS do we have now? 75. Okay, so it looks like we're limited to the monitor refresh rate. Probably it can do it higher. That's why the GPU has only 58% load. Okay, let's see what we need to do in here. This truck has a red dot. Maybe we need to blow it up? Yeah, okay, so it has like an hit points gauge on the bottom. Okay, bam. It's only 600 megabytes of RAM consumed by the system at the moment, and only 57 megabytes of VRAM. It's insane. I don't know how games looking so good back then would run only on 57 megabytes of VRAM. This is unreal. Our graphics card has 512 megabytes, so it's way better than this game is requesting or requiring. It's very smooth again, but the car seems to be stuck here. I don't know what's going on. I can't move. Okay, I think it's a bug. Or I broke it. I'm such a noob. I had to reload because I was really stuck, so let's not do that again. The mission says destroy the tanker by ramming it with a vehicle. Okay then. Oh wow, okay. But how about the gun? It's faster with a gun. Okay. Kill all the enemies. Let's kill them. There you go. Oh wow, okay. They explode. I can take the shotgun. Where was it? Disappeared now. Ah! It has, like in Matrix, a bullet effect. Slow bullet. Bullet time or what? Well, yeah, bullet time was called. That's fun. Maybe now maybe this was the reason I loved it so much in the past. I'm not sure if the storyline was that great. I can't remember it. Okay, no more guns. Take that. Take that. You gringo. Right. Games runs very well. I'm sure this will be very fun to play on this machine. Runs very well. Let's skip to the next game. Next game we're gonna try, it's one of my all-time favorites. It's Need for Speed Underground. This is the first one. On specs, it's supported, well, multiple OS is supported here, including ours. 700 megabytes CPU needed, 128 megabytes of RAM, so yes, we should be way more than capable to play this one. Released 2003 here it says. I had to stop the music because of I might be a copyright strike request or something by someone else or by YouTube. I don't want to do that, so even though the game has amazing music, I'm sure everyone remembers, I can't let it play, so we're just gonna allow the game effects and sound for now. We're gonna go on settings and put it on maximum to see how it performs. Configure graphics card, let's see. Okay. Details, hi. Motion blur off. I can't stand playing games with motion blur. I'm sure there's a lot of people agreeing with me. It's one way that the developers were hiding flaws in the engine. Although FPS, by applying motion blur, it's not really desirable. Other than that, we can leave everything on, I think. And yeah, go back. And go back. And let's do a quick race. Let's see how it looks like. We're gonna do a circuit. Okay, looks very good. All the reflections are available. 31 megabytes of VRAM at the moment, 576 megabytes of system RAM. CPU is doing almost nothing, GPU is doing almost nothing. It's unreal. Okay, let's go with the Miata. Accept. Looks absolutely okay. I'm not sure if the controller works. Yeah, it does. even though I tried to... let's figure out the controls. Okay, done. Controller works. It's automatically recognized by the game. I don't have to configure anything. We have 40 FPS at the moment, all maxed out. Okay, it's a bit laggy. I'm not sure why. We have some dips. Maybe we pushed it too hard with all the settings cranked up. But it really looks like eye candy. It's just exactly how I remember it. Really, really beautiful game. (70–40 FPS. It really is really fluctuating depending. I think our GPU is struggling, to be honest. Even though the usage is all over the place, 90%. Yeah, okay, yeah, we are definitely GPU limited in here. Probably with a better GPU this will run sustained 60 FPS at least. But it's really beautiful, the game. Considering the hardware requirements on the box, they're quite modest. I would have expected for it to run a bit better, but it seems like it's not. Probably all these effects are taking a lot of the GPU processing power. I don't think we are bottlenecked by the CPU in here. Only 30–50% loads on the cores. Yeah. Okay. So this one, it's towards the limit, but still playable. Does anyone remember Prince of Persia? It seems like it's quite forgotten, this game. It is the game which made me fall in love with Ubisoft, actually. The series. I bought all 3 discs back then, Warrior Within and Two Thrones as well. I absolutely loved this game, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. The graphics were insane at that time. 2003. It's not requiring much, similar to Need for Speed Underground. We'll see how it plays. I've already looked through the system settings and I put everything on max, but when I try to put fog on, the engine doesn't like it. It goes like that, all blue. It's like excessive fog. It's probably the card, being an entry-level one, cannot process it properly. I'm not sure if it's a shader-related issue or anything, but I can leave them all on max, except fog. And that seems to do it for now. Controls, I'm not sure if this is supported. We'll see if the gamepad it's allowed. Start a new game. Okay, I'm losing the controller in here. Okay, let's go in. Skip. Okay, we're definitely GPU bottlenecked. 100% load. 78, 80 FPS. Okay, 90. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually, for such a low budget GPU. Okay, not that way. Yeah, the smoke really seems to dip the FPS on this game. It doesn't like it. Maybe the engine. I don't remember when I played it to have any issues with the fog. I'm not sure if it's related to this GPU alone, if it's faulty or not. Just let me know in the comments if any of you guys has encountered the same issue as I did. But it runs very smooth, to be honest. 90 FPS here. When explosions it dips to 60. Okay, I think I've jumped in the wrong direction. Come on now, Prince. What's going on? The camera is actually changing right the moment I'm trying to jump. Okay. This walking on the walls was really one of my favorite, and I'm sure a lot of people loved it. It was an interesting feature that Ubisoft introduced at that time with the prints. I think the artwork and the graphics are really good for this game at that time. This is 22 years ago. We're talking about a game that we're still able to play after all this time. Music is really good also. I remember the storyline. Storyline is the cherry on the cake. I was in love with the storyline on this game. I forgot how to play it, to be honest. I'm so used to the games nowadays using different mechanics for combat. In the past they were more rudimentary, maybe, or maybe it requires a bit more attention. Now they're very easy. Yeah, this is absolutely playable. I love it. I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. Maybe with the GPU upgrade, if this system will allow it. But I will probably need another power supply. It will play better. Okay, Half-Life 2. What does it say there? Is the best first-person shooter ever. I totally agree with that one. Absolutely the best shooter ever. But, problem, on Windows XP I can't start it because it requires logging into Steam. On Windows 7 I know there are ways to make Steam work and log in, but on Windows XP we are cut off, so I'll have to keep these disks for Windows 7 PC. Unfortunately, they no longer work with Windows XP anymore. Such a bummer. Street Racing Syndicate. Maybe we're gonna have a better luck with this one. It will run better than Underground, who knows. It's a very similar game, to be honest. Even though we're not gonna be able to customize cars like we do in Underground. I think they already come customized in this one, if I remember correctly. Let's have a look. It has a lot of girls everywhere. This must be fun, right? With a lot of girls. Okay, that's fine. Girls everywhere. Let's set the settings to maximum. Okay. Motion blur off. Anti-aliasing high. We're gonna leave VSync off just to see how much it can push. Texture filtering very high. Some settings required to restore the game. Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. Okay, everything looks high or very high and on, except VSync and motion blur. Okay, let's apply the changes and restart the game. Okay, Street Racing Syndicate. Let's pick up a car. I had to stop the music as well due to copyright infringement. I don't want that to happen to me. It seems like it's pushing. more than 100 megabytes of VRAM, which is the first I'm seeing, and the CPU seems quite loaded, GPU, everything seems to be balanced at the moment. Transmission, auto, good. Let's see what we have here. What kind of gem? Okay, it definitely looks just like Underground. It looks like it's almost a copy. And it moves better, even though it's only 50 FPS, feels better than Underground. At first glimpse, you would think that I'm playing Need for Speed Underground, but I'm not. It's Street Racing Syndicate. Let's see, do we have a Nitro or something? Oh yeah, okay. It's definitely playable, all maxed out. Feels good. Let's see, can we change the camera? Yeah, that's a bit better. It's definitely a game I will give some attention. I didn't have the chance to play it much in the future, in the past or in the future. Oh, come on now. And but I'll do it in the future. So I have a massive backlog of games, both on discs and digital, and this requires some attention, definitely. Okay, I'm happy with the results. Looks and feels good. Okay, we finally got to Doom 3, name which is familiar to most gamers. Very, very famous series. It's the first time I'm seeing RAM over 1 gigabyte being used, and VRAM 300 megabytes, GPU 100% load, CPU nearly 100. I think the system is quite not capable to play this at high FPS on high settings. So at the moment it's all maxed out. No, it's on high settings, 1280 by 1024 resolution, and it's only showing 24 FPS. So for this game to run, we will require a better system. It says it supports the NVIDIA up to NVIDIA GeForce 6800, which is quite a powerful GPU, way powerful than this one. And on the ATI, it was supporting the Radeon 9800 Pro or XT, I think. Those are also very powerful GPUs. I think we are unlucky today, but let's see how it runs a bit with this GPU. I'm not sure if I need to talk to this guy.
Welcome to Mars City.
It's very, very dark in here. Okay.
Proceed directly to reception.
Welcome to Mars, Marine. I'm gonna need you to step on one of those red squares on the floor for a bioscan.
Okay, this really doesn't feel good moving around. It has frame rate dips. I don't think the GPU is capable of running it properly, and I'm actually not happy with the result. I was expecting a bit more from this GPU considering the game requirements, but I think those are just the minimum ones and not the recommended ones. So looks good though. The game looks good. Can't remember when this was released. What did it say here? 2004. Unbelievable. The graphics are very, very good for this game. 21 years ago.
Listen, buddy, you don't have clearance for this area. Move along.
Two of the games I was looking forward to play, they can't play. First one, Morrowind. The disc seems to have scratches, which are not that deep, to be fair, but enough that the PC doesn't want to install and read the disc. I'm very, very sad for this, since this was the Game of the Year edition, including all the patches and expansions, the Tribunal Blood Moon. And the GTA 3, it installs, everything looks fine, but when I insert the disc, it doesn't do anything. The play disc, that is. So this one, play. I can't see anything on it. Looks very clean to me, but it's not doing anything. So I'm not sure. The game is not launching it. Also a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. I'll have to find another copy of these two games. And the last game we're gonna show today, Trains, a railway simulator. I used to play a lot with this when I was younger. Whoever is into trains, I loved trains when I was a kid, being around them, seeing them. I've been to train museums, and this does not make exception. For the time when this game was released, which means it was quite early in the 2000s, if I remember correctly. 2002, okay. 23 years ago. I think the graphics were quite decent. Let's see how it operates. I think that, if I remember, yeah, this just start. It's set up in Britain at the moment. Internal view, okay. Looking around, it's quite rudimentary. Tracking view, okay, this looks a bit better. Yeah, it's better from outside. Let's see, moves really well. 90 FPS, 700 RAM, 63 VRAM. It looks like the older games didn't require a lot of VRAM to run, but still the GPU, it's 100% load. So yeah, we have red signal. Okay, we need to stop now. I don't know. Stop. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have passed there. It's raining. Let's see how detailed the trains were. I mean, it's not bad. But still, I think I remembered it looking a bit better. The trees really look low poly. It's fun to mess with. I remember we can decouple from wagons, move from left to right, and pick up other wagons. There are quite few tracks available. I think it's quite enjoyable for a few hours at least. Running on an old PC. I'm not sure. It's something that I love about old games. I think developers put more passion when making them. It was not all about profit. It was more about how fun it is for the buyer. And that's why many companies were loved way more in the past than they are today, and less criticized. People were queuing up on the streets during the night when the games was released. There was no pre-order and things like that we have nowadays with digital distribution. Yeah. Can't even see the end of the train. It's a fog. But yeah, at least now we can have an idea of what this system is capable of. To be honest, I think for 11.5 pounds, which I've paid, because I had the GPU and the memory, so I didn't pay anything for them. They're old components I had laying around. Found them in old boxes. I don't know what to do with it, to be honest. I have way better systems, and I'm gonna build more computers on the channels in future videos. I'll probably donate it to whoever wants it on the local market. It's gonna go to a good family, someone who is missing, who still has physical discs like I do, and doesn't have an old PC to play on. I think this is ideal for early 2000s, late 90s games. It seems I don't have a lot of discs from prior 2000. I don't know where they are. They're probably in a different box. I can't find them. I think the oldest was 2001, or this is 2002. So I'll have to dig deeper through my old boxes. To be honest, I got rid of a few of them in the past. I've sold, and now I'm sorry I did. I did not know how the games will be nowadays, and the digital distribution, you know, no one was anticipating that. But I'm happy how this turned out. I might upgrade it if I will have a chance and time to do it. I might put a better power supply, because it looks like it will take normal power supplies. It has the 24 pin and the 4 pin connectors, which are regular ones, standard ones, and the maybe a better GPU, yeah, because that requires extra power connectors, which this doesn't have. I'm not sure how it's gonna be with cooling, because the case doesn't seems to have mounting spots for extra fans, so cooling might be an issue with the more powerful system. I'm not sure if a better CPU. I think I still have a Q6600 somewhere in my drawers. Maybe I can find it and I'll put that one in a quad core. It might be better for games from around this time. But still, if I remember correctly, the first quad core CPU was developed in 2006, so all these games prior to 2006 were not using more than 1 or 2 cores anyway, so it would be pointless. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.